So, to answer the question, we play chess in order to win. Winning feels good. And we play chess in order to learn to win more. It's a nice game. There's no chance involved. It's all a level playing field, unlike poker or some other card games. If you pay with your efforts, you are then rewarded with victory. If you can turn the pain of a loss into learning, you're also rewarded with victory, but a little bit later. So I'm making this video as a response to a question that I got from a student, which was something like, why do we play chess, but also how do we improve? In this video, I'm going to try to answer both these questions. This is a game that I played against the student. It went like this. As you can see, there's little pleasure in winning a game like this one. I was obviously against a much weaker opponent, an opponent who doesn't fully understand the object of the game, obviously. And it was too short and uneventful to be satisfying in any minor way. There was no checkmate. And speaking of checkmate, I think this is where any teaching, any learning of chess should really begin. At the moment where the game truly ends, the checkmate. So it's an event that ends the game unequivocally for everybody. There are situations where two players can negotiate and agree that continuation is impossible or one of them can give up, but it's still all about a checkmate. It's about a looming inevitability or complete improbability of it. So in most chess schools, therefore, children start by learning how the pieces move and also learning the checkmate patterns. Checkmate, however, is rather difficult to reach by accident. Both players are plotting, both players are calculating, maneuvering their armies in order to get closer to checkmating their opponent and to avoid being checkmated themselves. So the game is basically to outwit, outsmart, and outmaneuver your opponent. If you want to improve at chess, it's important to understand early the correct path towards this improvement. I didn't have, which I'll mention later. I actually made this mistake of ignoring the most basic advice that every chess book gives you, which is to train your vision, because it sounded too banal. I mean, yeah, I can see the board, what's there to train? What do you mean chess vision? So I would go and just drill openings and traps and watch videos. It turns out, however, that board vision is basically your chess skill. It isn't about the board or the pieces themselves. I had this realization actually after I saw that my opponent resigned. I just thought, oh, he doesn't see anything that I see. It's a dark forest for him, basically. So it's the same board, the same pieces in front of both of us, but he doesn't see anything that I see. He gives up. It's a logical result, actually. You don't see a path to victory, you just resign or time out like this. For some players, it's on move 4. Some players move 100. The same result. So I was thinking about how to conceptualize chess, how to explain to myself even how to improve at this game. And this is what I came up with. Because chess is a game with no chance, all information is completely available, 100% to both players, and it's on the board, it's visible. The information on the board is basically the quantity of pieces that both players have. We cynically call it material. The location of pieces on the board, which we also call position, and also whose turn it is to move, to change the position. That's what both of us can see. But the game is won or lost by using the hidden information in the position. And there are many, many levels to this hidden information. As a beginner, for example, I used to watch chess streaming, chess commentators who described positions using very colorful language, like rich position, dynamic, or boring, or like a dangerous position. I never really understood what made them say these things. I focused on the pieces when I should have focused on the invisible connections and relations between them. Or at the very least, like I should have focused on the empty squares where the pieces could go and cause trouble. So, what my beginner's mind saw was like, example, a knight on c3. Okay, and it's what I saw. That's what I focused on. What didn't occur to me immediately was that there are at least eight other things that are happening, 8 other units of information about this knight. For example, it's there, so no other piece can occupy it. It can be good, can be a problem, right? The opponent, however, can take my knight if they want, right? So that can happen, but for me, what it's blocking, right? If it's there, it's blocking the movement of other pieces. It's blocking pawn on c2. At the same time, it is putting pressure, or it's controlling squares on, in the center, and a4 and b5, which is good. If the opponent's piece lands on these squares, it will be taken. That's fine. What else? Knight on c3. It's not attacked at the moment, but it can be attacked if the opponent wants it to. It's protecting some things on the board, and is protected itself by 2 pawns. So if the opponent takes it with with a piece similar in value, pawns can recapture, and maybe my position will suffer, but the material balance will be the same. So there are many. Obviously I can move it. It's a knight, right? It's a piece, like it's a basic function. So the idea is there are many things happening around every piece all the time at once. Then these are just obvious things that you can see. For a more seasoned player, even more things are obvious. Like, it's 2 moves away from forking the rook and the king if the queen goes away and stops protecting c7, for example. It's also obvious that it can be pinned by a bishop, let's say. Often happens here. And if before it controlled the center, e4 and d5, now it doesn't control anything. It's actually pretty vulnerable. So that's a different topic altogether. For beginner, I think seeing the present position, the position on the board at the moment, is the most important thing. And I wish I had more time spent on it when I was just beginning playing chess. So if you extend this vision metaphor further, The next most important thing is seeing into the future. 1, 2, 3 moves ahead. It obviously requires you to know how the pieces move and how they work with each other. That basically determines how the situation develops. You begin to see this invisible hidden information, and that ultimately wins you the game. So that's why, actually, it's impossible for a beginner to beat a master this game. It's like fighting with a blindfold. Speaking of blindfolds, as you can see, there are some training wheels, little helpers on the board from chess.com, and I think Lichess has them too. They're designed to help you see at least a little bit into the future without being cheating, right? They just highlight the range of movement and attack for the piece you select. For example, if I want to move the knight, I can't. If I wanted to move it here, I could. So that's what you get in online chess. You don't get it in over-the-board chess. It's illegal to move it around and to see where it can go. So that's these helpers are fine, but actually at some point they become a distraction. When you start seeing more, 2, 3 moves ahead, you don't need these little helpers. Actually, or you could actually go backwards and start getting rid of information that the board gives you. For example, you could just get rid of the board and play with pieces on a table without squares. It's been done before. That's one thing you could do. So you don't have the location information. You have to fill it in your mind, so to speak. Or you could replace the pieces with like checkers pieces and still try to play chess. But this time you'd have to remember which piece each checker represents. So that part would be unknown. Also, you could just get rid of the pieces and just call out the moves to each other and play across the board, but without pieces. Or you could remove everything and play blindfold chess completely. So, at higher levels of the game, even these 3 basic levels of information that you get, they are unnecessary for most players. They can analyze the game in their mind because their vision is so well developed and it's so internalized. So when I was kind of writing these ideas out, I caught myself thinking that I could have been a master if I hadn't ignored this. Because I totally ignored it at the beginning of my training, of my just chess playing. I wouldn't call it training. And yeah, anyway, to sum it all up, these are the first things I would teach myself as a complete beginner. Look at the pieces, look at the board, but also you have to see what they do, where they go on the board, what they can, what their potential is. Try to peek into the future, 1, 2, 3 moves ahead, and just play the game. Experience is everything at the end of the day. It's the next best thing to winning. Learning from your losses so you can win even more. That's it. That's the first order of business for any beginner, in my opinion. So to illustrate this last part of playing, let's actually play. Let's play against a bot who's an Oliver with a rating of 550. Not just to beat a bot, but to see what kind of information is probably hidden for him from his vision by programmers. In general, it's a good idea to play and talk through, whoa, what is happening on the board. It's not a good idea to bring out your queen so early. because it's too powerful of a piece. And it's also not a good idea to move one piece all the time. There's a concept of development. Okay. Why? We don't know. Let's just castle. Playing simple moves, it's not difficult to beat a lower level bot. What do we think it can see? It can see that pieces take each other, for sure. It knows how they move. What he doesn't see, Oliver, is that some pieces can be taken, or pawns can be taken, and nothing, like, there's no way to recapture. So he lost a pawn like this. Do you think you can see a check? Yep, he has to react somehow. Oh, you can see that you can do it. Like this trick, in some situations, if there was there was like a rook here and my queen here unprotected and nothing in between, that could have been a cool sacrifice to win my queen, but it's kind of pointless. Right here, okay, he doesn't develop anything on this side, so totally up to him, really. And he sacrifices another pawn and attacks my knight, but okay. I don't know. I don't think he's trying to win at this point. I mean, he knows how pieces move. That's a fact. And he only moves pawns. Which is not good. Does he know how to prevent a checkmate? No, I don't think so. Does he have bamboozled me with tactics? Checkmate. Anyway, playing against weaker bots isn't as satisfying as playing against a real human, especially over the board. That's the key to me. Chess, not even online chess. Okay, that's the end of the video. I hope it's useful for somebody, or at least this one person who asked me the question. See you later.